Hi, I'm Lance with Ultimate Canine, and today we're going to do a crate review. The first crate we're going to go over, in this series we're going to go over actually about 5 different brands of crates, but the first brand that we're going to go over is Vari Kennel brand, or Petmate. They're very similar. So, I have 2 really old Vari Kennel brand kennels. These kennels are probably 30, maybe 20 years old. They're very, very old. We have 2, we have a large and a medium, and you can see the differences is this one has the cutout slots, and this one has very old, rusty bar slots. They're metal. They're just corroded over time. They've been cleaned a lot. And you can see they're missing this one zip tied closed, and this one is bolted closed. It usually comes with a little wing nut assembly that goes down and secures these. They are 2-piece kennel, so you can take the top off when you're done, and you can put it in the bottom. And you can put the crate door in the bottom, which is made out of steel as well. Now, these crates, as you can see, they're stained and they're dirty and they're old, but they don't have a lot of significant damage. And there's been many, many dogs in here, anywhere from poodles to pit bulls to Cane Corsos. Any kind of dog you can imagine has been in these crates. The current dogs that have been in these crates are my Malinois. So my smaller puppy's been in this one, and my older puppy's been in this one. They're a month apart. Now, these are by no means Malinois proof, and for you, those of you that have Malinois, you know that that's a very strong rating. But my dogs don't really damage too much. So you can see this door open and closes like this. Now, this kennel is universal. If you want to flip it upside down and have the door open the opposite way, you can. Everything is exactly the same. So to open this door, you just have this design here, and it opens, closes. Now, what most people don't know is there's a lock integrated into these doors. And by that, all you do is you have to turn this, and you turn it the opposite way, and then this locks. This cannot open. Okay, you have to then turn it out, and then open. So what a lot of people don't know is I trained dogs in the military for a long time, and this is almost exclusively all we used is Vari Kennel brand kennels. We have a lot of Dutch Shepherd, Belgian Malinois, and German Shepherds. That's the majority of what we used back when I was in the military. Didn't have a lot of problems. These are really solid crates. Every once in a while you'd have a dog that could destroy one. They're just a single ply plastic. But all in all, they're pretty strong. So what most people don't know about these doors is this system to open and close is just a pinch mechanism system with springs inside. Now, it can lock. So to lock it, you just turn this out, you turn this out. The door is locked. This is meant so when you fly, you can lock it. The problem is TSA and a lot of those folks don't understand how this works. So when they go to feed the dog, they struggle to get in there and do that. So to unlock it, you just flip it the opposite way. Functions correctly. Now, to look inside the crate, you can see there's not any damage in here, really. There's a little bit right here, very minor. There's none in the top. You can't really see too much in there. My female Malinois has been in this crate for about a month. She travels in it. I bring it inside and outside. She stays in. There's just really no damage. You can see on the sides here, there's not a lot of chewing going on. You can see a little bit here, but that's not for my dog. This is very old. On this side, the same thing. There's very, very little damage. I mean, it's stained. This kennel crate had sat for a period of time before I decided to use it. But all in all, it's in really good shape. This crate here is my little male Malinois has been in this crate. Now we open this guy, we see that there's not much damage. It is stained a little dirty in there. It just got stained and I couldn't get that stuff out. But you see there's no damage to this lip here, and there's no damage to this up here. The reason I'm showing that is because when I review some of these other types of kennels, I tried to put my Malinois in them, and they didn't last long. They started to damage them instantly. And I just think that it's the way the crates are designed. And my dogs aren't damaging by nature. They're not destructive dogs. They're just, for some reason, the dogs wanted to chew on these crates. So we'll get into that in later videos, and then at the end I'm going to do a combined video on all the crates and which one I think is the best. One last really good point about these crates are they're super light. So when you're potty training a puppy or two, like I am with my dogs, you have an accident in the crate or the dog gets sick and throws up in the crate and you need to clean the crate. This is pretty light. You can pick it up. You can pick it up with one hand. And this is the large. It's really, really light. So you can move it outside, spray it out with a hose. You can do whatever you need to clean it. And this guy's even lighter, obviously, because he's smaller. But they're just very easy to handle, work with, taking them in a car, out of a car. That is one of the biggest, that is one of the best things about these crates is their weight. So let's go over the bad. One bad thing with Vari Kennel brand crates is the plastic is pretty thin. So on this crate, you can see that this part is broken here. Just over time, the plastic seems to just kind of get a little bit weak. Now, this style here, the right dog can get their teeth in here and they can really destroy this pretty easily. This type, it's a little bit harder because it's a little bit thinner and they have this metal bar in the middle, so it makes it hard for them to get their mouth in. Just like the gates, it's almost the same principle. The worst part about these crates that I dislike is that it's like this ridge. It's a two-part crate and it is nice when you don't use it, but I always use my crates. My crates are important. They keep my dog safe when I travel, so if I get in a car accident, the dog can't go flying out the windshield, get ejected from the vehicle, or fly in the back of my head, cause me damage, or if we're both injured, can't delay people from helping me, or emergency services workers. So this ridge, if you want to put two crates side by side, it takes down the space. So if we're doing this here, and these are the exact same height, they're going to take out about 4 inches plus of width. And if you have an SUV or a compact vehicle, it's going to make it hard to fit two side by side. So that's a downfall. Another downfall is there's no real good way to strap these down. You can run straps over the top and you can do that, but if you have a situation like I have where you have a medium and a large, it's just there's no real good strap down points to keep these safe. So the next part that's a downfall is you have this ridge up here and you have this ridge down here. And even though my dogs have not destroyed this, a lot of dogs will. And in the military, this is where we saw the dogs do the most amount of damage, is they would start chewing this up and they would start chewing this up in the bottom. But all in all, if you have just a pretty good solid dog, you don't have chewing issues, these are really good crates. They're the least expensive crates on the list that I have. I have two smaller Vari Kennel brand crates. So when my dogs are really, really small, they were in those, and those crates are about 40 bucks. These crates now are probably about 80, 90 bucks. You know, so they're the least inexpensive. The most expensive crate that I'm going to do is like $1,500 crate, which is kind of crazy. But we're going to review that crate. We're going to go from there.